To the mothers who are present, an early Happy Mother's Day. I also want to acknowledge that this year's commencement might be particularly meaningful for our graduates and their families and supporters. Many of you graduates and their families graduated high school during the pandemic, and you might not have been able to experience an in-person commencement. But today, here together in person, we note and celebrate this milestone as well. Completing high school and starting college in the midst of a pandemic and finding yourself here now graduating on this spring day is just another testament to your perseverance and your Westchester University spirit. Congratulations. At this point, I'd like to recognize our entire community of educators. That's our platform party behind me, and our faculty, staff, and administrators, whether current or retired, in the audience or watching. Everyone who has helped shape the success of our graduates. These individuals have all played an important role in your journey at Westchester University. And as you take this next step in your life and face new challenges, I promise you, you will think about those individuals who pushed you and inspired you in and outside of the classroom. You'll remember this community of educators that helped you grow and think and see different points of view. Will all our community of educators please stand and be recognized in the audience and on the platform? You deserve a big round of applause for your excellent work. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Executive Vice President and Provost of Westchester University, Dr. Jeffrey Osgood.
Good afternoon. All right, this is a fun event. Let's try this one more time. Good afternoon. There we go. Welcome, honored guests, families, and friends, alumni, faculty, staff, and most especially members of the Westchester University class of 2024. You did it. Congratulations. I know you are all hoping that my speech will be short because these days it's hard to pay attention to anything that's long. So let me briefly talk to you about today's message. When I think about the struggle to sustain attention in my own life, I think back to the 5th grade. I was raised in a military family that constantly moved from one location to another, and that meant constantly moving from one school to another. With all that movement, what did not move much were my reading skills. For most of my early years, my ability to read didn't match my grade level, and that is putting it mildly. And if I fail to read my speech well today, I at least can say that I am consistent at something, which is poor reading. But if I'm being honest, the issue wasn't my reading skills, but I didn't know that then. So let's get on to the real message. In 5th grade, I found myself in Barkley Elementary School in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, in a class broken into 3 reading groups. An above average reading group, that group got to read A Wrinkle in Time. I wasn't in that group. There was an average reading group. No, I wasn't in that group either. I was in the 3rd group, the less than average reading group, and it wasn't a group at all. It was just me. My mom said the same thing. Thank God for mothers. So my teacher for that class was named Mrs. Potts, and yes, she reminded me of Mrs. Potts from Disney's Beauty and the Beast, but instead, please imagine Mrs. Potts as a more rural, southern, and human rather than a posh British teapot. She was fabulous. Mrs. Potts was perceptive. She realized I didn't have a reading problem. I had an attention problem. I could read just fine. I just couldn't stay focused on any reading for any length of time. To work on my attention issues, Mrs. Potts introduced me to Choose Your Own Adventure Stories. She told me that I had to really focus my attention on the story because on the next page, I would be asked to make a decision. And if I made the wrong decision, the story would end. But if I made the right decision, the adventure would continue. I remember that in one of those adventure stories, I was in the Wild West and I had to choose whether to spend my last $20 buying food for my horse or buying drinks at the town bar, Jake's. I mean, how many times have you struggled with that decision over the last 4 years? These are life's great decisions. And I think some of you are struggling with last night's decisions too. But Mrs. Potts constantly reminded me to pay attention. She trained me to pay attention, and over time I went from being a very bad reader to a very good reader. And in fact, at the end of the school year, I read A Wrinkle in Time, and it was the first real book I ever read. So you see, you all have had people like Mrs. Potts in your life, people telling you that you need to pay attention. Maybe it was that teacher trying to help you master that complex math problem, or a coach trying to help you hit that ball, or a parent just trying to talk to you while you were on your cell phone, scrolling from left to right or up to down. In all of these cases, you had important people at important moments emphasizing the need to pay attention, and that makes sense because we only accomplish important things through sustained attention. No great discovery, no great deed, no great relationship, no great work of art has ever happened without sustained attention. Nothing amazing happens without sustained attention, and that includes the amazing accomplishments we celebrate today. The amazing accomplishments of our graduates completing their collegiate degrees. These are not just words. It really is truly a unique and special accomplishment. When you spend lots of time on a college campus, it becomes easy to assume that everyone applies to college, goes to college, and graduates from college. But it simply isn't true. Despite our best efforts as a society, only 38% of Americans, adult Americans, have a collegiate degree, a baccalaureate degree to be specific. So graduates, today you join a select group. You have accomplished something that most Americans will never accomplish, and you did it by paying attention. Westchester University has been like those people in your life, or Mrs. Potts in my life, that have challenged you to pay attention. Over the past 4 or 5 or maybe 6 years, however long it took me 7, and my mom was still happy then, so I'm sure your parents are happy too. You got here, no matter how you got here or how long it took you, you had to pay attention to get here. You had to pay attention while completing that long reading, which probably didn't have a choose-your-own-adventure story or decision for you to make. You had to pay attention while listening to that long lecture. You had to pay attention and while writing that long paper. In all those moments, if you didn't pay attention, if you couldn't pay attention, if you failed to pay attention, you wouldn't be joining us here today. While Westchester University has constantly challenged you to pay attention to important things, the world around us is always trying to divert our attention to unimportant things, to outlandish things, to outrageous things, to misleading things, to meaningless things, to anything and everything that will momentarily attract our attention and move you away from things that are important, truly important in your life. The journalist Johann Hari recently traveled around the world studying our global inability to focus. In his book aptly titled Stolen Focus, Hari argues that the phrase that best encapsulates our current world is this: I tried to live my life, but I got distracted. That's our world in which we try to live our lives but are constantly distracted from the important things, from your mission, from your passion, from your drive, from your purpose. You are living in and will continue to live in a world of constant diversions, distractions, and detours, but the good news for you is that Westchester has built up your attention abilities and prepared you for a world that has broken down those abilities for so many. So just how bad is it? Recently, scientists at Interscope Research fitted a large pool of adult Americans with camera glasses, and they had them wear those glasses for over 300 hours, so they could track every time a person switched their attention from one thing to another. And on average, the study found that subjects shifted their attention 27 times per hour. Just think about that. That means people weren't focusing their attention on anything for much longer than 2 minutes, which means I lost you 4 minutes ago. But for those of you laughing and paying attention, that portends something positive for your future. Many scholars who are studying the decline in our attention abilities argue that we are entering an era where there will be a great and growing divide between the attentive and the inattentive, an era in which the ability to pay attention will separate the successful from the unsuccessful, the happy from the unhappy, the fulfilled from the unfulfilled. You want to be certain you are on the right side of that divide, and that means paying attention to your ability to pay attention to your drive, to your mission, to your purpose. So as you move forward to your next stage in life, hold on to that ability to pay attention, an ability you've honed here at Westchester University. And graduates, as you move forward, my hope for all of you, my sincerest hope for all of you, is that you live your life, the life you want to live, the life you are excited to live, the life you have worked so hard to live. And along the way, try not to get too distracted. Congratulations, graduates, you did it.
Thank you, Dr. Osgood. I'm now pleased to introduce Ms. Kara Peterschmidt, graduating from the College of Health Sciences, Department of Nutrition in the Dietetics Curriculum track, who will present greetings on behalf of the class of 2024.
Good afternoon. My name is Kara Peterschmidt, and it is my honor to welcome esteemed professors, honorable guests, loving friends and family, and fellow graduates to Westchester University's College of Health Sciences 2024 commencement ceremony. Today is a beautiful day because we're standing in our caps and gowns, many of us for the first time ever, celebrating our achievements and perseverance. As a graduate, I recognize that the last few years have been rigorous and challenging, and yet we are joined today in the celebration of the triumph over those challenges. We began our journey with a Zoom link. Those unknown faces we used to stare at through screens are now sitting beside us at graduation, and they're some of our closest friends. We grew, we broke barriers, and today we acknowledge our hard work. Today begins the unknown and the unfamiliar. Being a fairly anxious individual, I am frequently reminding myself that the only constant in life is change. And class of 2024, we are no exception. We have changed. Throughout our time at Westchester University, we were exposed to our budding passions. We went on a terrifying journey of self-discovery and trial and error. We got knocked down and learned to get up again and again and again. Many of us leave here today with vastly different aspirations than what we envisioned for ourselves freshman year. That's the case for me. At the start of my freshman year, I made an extensive spreadsheet which carefully planned out every little detail of a future I was certain I wanted, a career in nutrition. But I stumbled into a love for medicine. Halfway through my college career, I deleted that spreadsheet. I vividly remember the feeling of trusting myself, trusting that this change was the right decision, and trusting that Westchester would support me along the way. As I stand here at graduation, I can confidently say that this campus community did provide that support. My wish for our class is that we continue to explore our values so we can create futures for ourselves that are robust and meaningful. May we stop asking ourselves, what if this doesn't work out? And instead start asking ourselves, how can I make this work out? May we refuse to let comfort become a limitation in reaching our full potential. As someone who is known to have had an existential crisis or two, I will remind you that we only get so many trips around the sun. It would be a shame to waste precious time comparing our journey to someone else's. Our paths are unique because our stories are unique. Regardless of the differences in our futures, I encourage you to thank your support system. The people who celebrated you when things paid off, and those who comforted you when things didn't go your way. The ones who stayed by your side while encouraging you to step out of your comfort zone. We are here today because of the love others have given us to push ourselves past where we felt comfortable. I want to take this time to thank two people who are the reason, who are the reason I stand here today, Mom and Dad. Thank you for your support, your care, and your guidance. I share this accomplishment with you. On behalf of the class of 2024, I want to thank our professors, mentors, fellow students, and everyone who is sitting here today cheering on someone special. Thank you. While today feels like crossing a finish line, graduation is not an end. It is a beginning. As the daughter of a passionate educator, I grew up believing that an education is an investment in yourself, your future, and your happiness. An education provides us with the tools to indulge in our passions and to do it wholeheartedly. My wish for all of my fellow graduates is that you enjoy the fruits of your labor. You earned it. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2024.
Kara, thank you so much. What beautiful remarks and inspiring words. I'd now like to introduce the Westchester Brass Ensemble, conducted by Carly McClendon.
Thank you. I'm happy to announce that today's ceremony is being photographed by professional photographers who will take pictures of the graduates as they come up to the stage to receive their diploma covers. These photographs will be made available to graduates, families, and friends. We ask that you refrain from taking personal pictures except from your seats. I now call on Dean Heinrichs to present the degree candidates.
Will all baccalaureate degree candidates please rise? Provost Osgood, I am pleased to certify that the members of the class of 2024 have fulfilled all the requirements for the degrees which this university awards in their particular fields of study and are recommended to you by the faculty of Westchester University.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I hereby confer upon you the baccalaureate degrees to which you are entitled. Congratulations. Please be seated. Dean Heinrichs, will you now present the candidates from your college?
Provost Osgood, I would be delighted to, and I have the honor to present the recipients of the bachelor's degrees in the College of Health Sciences. Marshals, please escort the candidates forward to receive the symbolic presentation of their degrees. Candidates, you may remain seated until your row is called forward.
Michael Andrew Krozik, cum laude. Grace Rodman, magna cum laude. Hannah Marie Pearl Webb, summa cum laude. Olivia Moran, magna cum laude. Matthew Foster, summa cum laude. Colby William Judd, cum laude. Joseph Jakulis, magna cum laude. Sydney Perskin, cum laude. Delaney Carbo, summa cum laude. Isha Jumu, cum laude. Anna Jaskell von Hoffen, cum laude. Taylor Dugan, magna cum laude. Anna Slowick, cum laude. Kara Joanne Peterschmidt, summa cum laude. Joandra Elizabeth Grian, cum laude. Rachel Elizabeth Mishak, magna cum laude. Emily Karp Riesenbach. Amanda Kroll, summa cum laude. Mason David Seredich. Carly Christina Berkmeyer, magna cum laude. Madeline Frances Suta, summa cum laude. Madison Marie Whitaker, summa cum laude. Margaret Elizabeth Claghorn, summa cum laude. Julia Rose McLean, summa cum laude. Megan Carolyn Ruby, magna cum laude. Lydia Claire Kleber. Grace Catherine Nicholas, cum laude. Laura Michelle Neitz, summa cum laude. Tamika C. Fields, summa cum laude. Lauren Elizabeth Murphy, cum laude. Olivia Erin Reiner, cum laude. Catherine May Lonergan, magna cum laude. Ashlyn Rose Kaiser, magna cum laude. Erin Lynn Sullivan, magna cum laude. Carolyn Carmela Graham, magna cum laude. Ryan Ashley Albuck, summa cum laude. Chloe Elizabeth Sin, summa cum laude. Alexa Lynn King, summa cum laude. Kendall Elizabeth Gardiner, summa cum laude. Madeline Givler, summa cum laude. Olivia Marie Vogt, magna cum laude. Gabrielle Alexis Dolan, summa cum laude. Samantha Randall Greer, magna cum laude. Daniel Alex Godin, summa cum laude. Jennifer Morrow Erd, summa cum laude. Christina Marie Fotos, cum laude. Juliana Marie Paulo, summa cum laude. Megan Elizabeth Kai, magna cum laude. Michelle Elizabeth McManus, summa cum laude. Molly Elizabeth Clark, magna cum laude. Abigail Grace Waite, magna cum laude. Grace Robin McKelvey, summa cum laude. Alexander Deanna Vincente, magna cum laude. Gianna Spagno, magna cum laude. Michaela Ashley Davison, magna cum laude. Grace Kathleen McCarran, magna cum laude. Emily Elise Pillarella. Aiden Tyler Hornig, magna cum laude. Hannah Marie Momert, summa cum laude. Jonathan Sadowskis. Aaliyah S. Dokes, cum laude. Jillian P. Deer, summa cum laude. Bomlock Abraham. Megan Ann Strong. Julia Ann Florin, magna cum laude. Jessica Palaska Sheehan, magna cum laude. Madison Dury, summa cum laude. Chloe E. Iannone, magna cum laude. Chandrea Woolridge Johnson, magna cum laude. Kimberly Gibson Jones, summa cum laude. Miguel Angel Montez. Skylar Renee Strunk, summa cum laude. Anna Michelle Sample, cum laude. Lauren Patricia Haynes, summa cum laude. Katie Elise Sharbow, cum laude. Miranda Elizabeth Youngblood, magna cum laude. Genevieve Alicia Vicaris, cum laude. Haley Elizabeth Pugh, summa cum laude. Tyler Tavares. Emily Almone, magna cum laude. Emily Grace Yowen, summa cum laude. Sydney Rachel Goldman, cum laude. Abigail Nicole Ingoglia, summa cum laude. Ellie Rose Weaver, summa cum laude. Pamela A. Kubiak, summa cum laude. Giant I. Morris Bell, summa cum laude. Harper Firsta, magna cum laude. Carly Veronica Franzak, summa cum laude. Michaela Jane Nanez, summa cum laude. Gianna N. Mel, summa cum laude. Mariana Lopez, summa cum laude. Mariana Regis, summa cum laude. Melissa Reyes, summa magna cum laude. Jacqueline R. Atkins, magna cum laude. Charlie Dion Colbert. Madeline Clara Sitley, cum laude. Nicole C. Stahl, magna cum laude. Morgan Alyssa Potter, cum laude. Erin Nicole Guilfoyle, magna cum laude. Megan Elizabeth Riviolo, cum laude. Victoria Elizabeth Now, cum laude. Cecilia Anastasia Froner, summa cum laude. Melody Star Ringgold Angelilli, summa cum laude. Rachel Lynn Weaver, magna cum laude. Megan Marie Cornwell. Cameron and A. Miller, summa cum laude. Megan Rose Ball, magna cum laude. Madison Taylor O'Neill, magna cum laude. Jabal Cora. Mariana Mayan Kasama. Hannah M. Hirsch, summa cum laude. Alyssa R. Camarada. Kirsten Nicole Detch. Jolie Elizabeth Malinowski, magna cum laude. Robin Mary Thistle, cum laude. Heather Lynn Jacobson. Aaron E. Florent, cum laude. Amy Silvas, summa cum laude. Elizabeth M. Rivera, summa cum laude. Catherine R. O'Sullivan. Ebony D. Randall. Talea Cassandra Ross. Brooke V. Adams, magna cum laude. Toyin Deborah Ajayi, magna cum laude. Terry Floyd, summa cum laude. Mairead O'Donnell Briggs, cum laude. Olivia Luis DeNorcio, cum laude. Madison Anna Borgia, summa cum laude. Shannon Marie Conroy, summa cum laude. Kaya Saxman, magna cum laude. Amber Gwynn, magna cum laude. Samantha L. Sullivan, cum laude. Emily Ann Broft, cum laude. Caitlin Marie Ruth, cum laude. Brianna Jordan Haggs, summa cum laude. Carly Lenz, magna cum laude. Ava Lee Stetter, summa cum laude. Jessica Elizabeth Sturm, summa cum laude. Emma Victoria Corbin, magna cum laude. Tabitha Winifred Ray, summa cum laude. Paige Aaliyah Tamagini, summa cum laude. Ainsley Olivia Griffin, summa cum laude. Fabiana Narda, cum laude. Madison Lee Lafferty, magna cum laude. Victoria Page DiMaggio, summa cum laude. Annie Marie Braga, magna cum laude. Sage Anna Goldstein, magna cum laude. Juliana Marie Miller, summa cum laude. Joanna F. Russo, cum laude. Nicole E. Doxback, magna cum laude. Carolyn Kornichuk, summa cum laude. Adriana Marie Swoyer. Christy Newell, magna cum laude. Julia Claire Raybold, summa cum laude. Jacqueline Ray Hoog, summa cum laude. Lauren Elise DiStefano, magna cum laude. Casey Lynn Spira, cum laude. Lauren Christine Mochua, summa cum laude. Caitlin E. Mikal, cum laude. Lindsay Allison, magna cum laude. Marissa Rose Parr, cum laude. Madison Shea Palanchar, magna cum laude. Nadia Rose Boswell. Alexandra Nicole Jameson. Sophia Grace Gill, summa cum laude. Morgan Garcia, magna cum laude. Lauren Elizabeth Meisenhelter, magna cum laude. Emily Nicole Holmes, magna cum laude. Lindsay Morgan Burkett, magna cum laude. Heather Nicole Krupa, magna cum laude. Marissa Taylor Dykes, summa cum laude. Mia Nicole Fornito, magna cum laude. Jacqueline Ray Nadero. Kira Shashin Buta. Olivia Rose Bonzel, magna cum laude. Mackenzie Ziegler, summa cum laude. Emily Campbell Clemson, summa cum laude. Maura Grace McQuillan, summa cum laude. Jesse Griffin, summa cum laude. Catherine Marie Baus, summa cum laude. Hannah Lynn Thomas, summa cum laude. Ashley Mary Dolan, magna cum laude. Samantha Rivera, magna cum laude. Kaya Patrice Simmons, magna cum laude. Kelly M. Pyatt, summa cum laude. Peyton M. Young. Sophia N. Conrad, cum laude. Heather Faith Anderson, summa cum laude. Emma Tepper Fazzari, summa cum laude. Madeline Grace Vagnoni, magna cum laude. Madison L. Hahn, summa cum laude. Jordan Rose Dale, summa cum laude. Cedre Y. Sevilla Tansino, summa cum laude. Victoria Nicole Dugan, magna cum laude. Marissa Ann Crivey, cum laude. Joy Allison Wicker, magna cum laude. Amanda Gioli, cum laude. Maria Guadalupe Alvarez Flores, cum laude. JC Liana Sparacino. Kylie Blouch. Nayla J. McQueen, magna cum laude. Emily Elizabeth Young, magna cum laude. Fabiola Belfort, summa cum laude. Rebecca Ann Clay, summa cum laude. Teresa Catherine Waltemate, magna cum laude. Emily Susan Sewell, magna cum laude. Madison Olivia Hall, summa cum laude. Dana N. Maguire, summa cum laude. Natalie Grace Fardone, cum laude. Heidi A. Green. Nathan Jacob Alex, magna cum laude. Chrysalyn Linda Prakash, cum laude. Ada Okechio, cum laude. Sunda Sansari, magna cum laude. Chisholm Jennifer Okeke. Amaja Hayes. Taya C. Smith, magna cum laude. Ronan Paul Loftus, magna cum laude. Elena Wright, magna cum laude. Isaiah Barlow McGee. Kenneth Robert Maynard. Kareem Gladney. Tierra N. Broadnext, summa cum laude. Kiana Campbell, summa cum laude. Joanne Wynn, magna cum laude. Joey Alexandra Harrod, magna cum laude. Nathan W. Conforti. Samuel Joseph Adolph, magna cum laude. Benjamin M. Houseneck, cum laude. Sarah Marie Adamusco. Ali Lorena Funicella, cum laude. Ulisha Joriana Rice, cum laude. Tara Crystal Lawver, summa cum laude. Ethan William Small, summa cum laude. Dominic LaCava, cum laude. Jackson Crawford, summa cum laude. Evelyn Gonzalez, summa cum laude. Hannah Elise McGinn, magna cum laude. Lindsay Berger, summa cum laude. Amy Corinne Altamare, summa cum laude. Gabrielle C. Hunt. Morgan Solis, summa cum laude. Soliana Joseph, cum laude. Joshua Edwards, magna cum laude. Michaela Freedy, summa cum laude. Jordan Fetterman. Phoebe Christine Daniel. Casey C. Bricker. John Ragland. Amaje Chester. Makasia Fofana. Del Vierling, cum laude. Yolanda A. Guzman Silva, magna cum laude. Dean Torwin Dolaka, summa cum laude.
Let's give one more round of applause. Congratulations, graduates. As I said to the nursing faculty, we are competitive in the College of Health Sciences, so we aim to please to get you out here efficiently. That being said, I'd like to now call on Ms. Joanda Gurian, graduating from the Department of Public Health Sciences, Public Health Accelerated Curriculum Track, and Ms. Rachel Messick, graduating from the Department of Nutrition, Dietetics Curriculum Track, to the podium to lead the tassel turning ceremony.
Undergraduate degree recipients, please stand. The movement of the tassel from the right side to the left side of the mortarboard signifies that a student has successfully met the curriculum requirements and has earned an undergraduate degree. Therefore, in symbolic recognition of your receipt of your degree, we ask you to now transfer your tassel from the right side to the left side of your mortarboard. Congratulations, Ramsa!
Please be seated. Thank you, Joanda and Rachel. It is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Patrick O'Connor, graduate of Westchester University, class of 1993, who will present greetings on behalf of the Alumni Association.
Once more, class of 2024, congratulations on your graduation. And may I be the first one to welcome you to the Westchester University Alumni Association. You have just joined an association with over 127,000 fellow Rams, spread over 60 countries. Whether you have thought about it or not, in both your personal and professional lives, you now represent this university. I believe your Westchester education and experiences have prepared you for success. But don't take my word for it. If you haven't done it yet, go to LinkedIn and search Westchester University. There are thousands of your fellow Westchester graduates out there doing all sorts of interesting and exciting work, sometimes in the fields of their major, sometimes not. But that's what will make it exciting once you leave this building. Regardless of where your career takes you, I do want to remind you that you are now a Ram for life. I urge you to continue to participate in the life of the university. Come to events with your fellow graduates. Network with your fellow alumni. Your determination, resilience, and decision-making are the reasons you are seated here today. So take pride in that and take pride in your university. In closing, I urge you to stay in touch with us at WCUalumni.org, register for our networking and social events, show up at our games and events in the fall, be an advocate for Westchester in your workplace and with your friends. And I look forward to seeing you at homecoming in October. Rams up!
Thank you, Mr. O'Connor. Today, we've honored our graduates. I know that all members of this class have enjoyed the support of some very special individuals in their lives. Now I'd like to offer the graduates a moment to express their appreciation to the family and friends who have helped provide so much support along the way. Will the family and friends of the graduates please rise so that you can receive the thanks you so richly deserve? Please be seated. As we end our commencement ceremony, I do want to recognize and thank all the students who took part in the mortarboard cap contest. Thank you. You can see some decorative mortarboards, so kudos to you all. And finally, we have a faculty member retiring after 30 years of service. So Dr. Mariah Koenig, could you please stand up? Thank you, Dr. Koenig. Thus ends our commencement ceremony. I wish to extend to all graduates and their family the heartiest of congratulations. Please rise and join in the singing of the first verse of our alma mater. The words are found on page 2 of your program. Zoe Bennett, Wells School of Music, will once again lead us. At the conclusion of the alma mater, please remain standing until the platform party has recessed.
you.